So today we're going to ski the Épaule de Charvet from the bottom of the Fontaine Froide chairlift right back into the centre of town. From the top of the Olympique bubble you can take the Col piste or the Fontaine Froide piste, and when you get to the bottom of the Fontaine Froide chair you'll see this sign. You head off to the right down the path. Pretty straightforward to start with. Carrying on down this path, bumps can start to form later, but nothing compared to what's at the bottom. Things can start to change when you get to this first lip. If it's been pisted overnight, it's an absolute dream. It's quite wide, plenty of space to turn. But if it hasn't been pisted overnight, this is where the bumps start to form, and you don't know until you're on it. You can always take a warm-up run up the Soleils, and you can look over from the Soleils télécabine to see what the run looks like. This is a view out of the télécabine Soleils where you can see the top part's been pisted, but not the bottom part, which never is. But more of that later. And this is a day where the top part hasn't been pisted either. So back to the run. You'll get to this sign here, where you can take the left off to Santons, or you can carry on down the mogul field that is the Épaule de Charvet. This bit is always bumpy, which I assume is why they've now put in a path between here and Santons, in case you change your mind halfway down. And the moguls really can get quite big. Here's a view from the bottom, just to give a bit of perspective. And then it just continues, more of the same. Bumps, bumps, and more bumps. And from here we can start to see the end and the long, long, flat run out back into town. That's where Santons comes in, and then it's a massive schuss all the way back into town. If it all feels too much, you can stop here for a drink or lunch, and the bus goes from just opposite. We just carry on going. Snowboarders in particular regretting their life choices, and let the skating begin. It's a little bit uphill here. More snowboarders regretting their life choices. And then you can start to glide again. And it's actually a very picturesque little path through the chalets back to town. I'd highly recommend the Lettincelle restaurant here if you fancy a pit stop for a drink or lunch. A little bit more skating. And then slide your way back down to the bottom of the Olympique and Soleils.